This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the LinkUp podcast. This is episode 100 of the LinkUp podcast. Specialness going on here. We got live streaming going on. We got like 3 different cameras and things basically pointing at me.
Angles. We're trying to give all you different, the different perspectives.
And today is a special day, like I just said, as the 100th episode. We kind of did a little bit of a cheat last episode with a 99.5 so that we could have this proper episode for the 100th episode where we got the full squad in the building.
Squad!
Okay.
That was
live streams going on and all of that. And basically the idea for this episode is, because the 100th episode, you want to do something a little more celebratory, a little bit more special. And in this episode, we asked y'all, as the people who are aware, who follow the LinkUp IG, you could see we asked y'all for some topics and suggestions and all of that type of stuff regarding what we're going to be talking about on this episode. So the idea basically is that we're going to go through some of the topics that y'all suggested to us to discuss. And as well as, because we live streaming and stuff, if y'all feel you have anything that you'd like to contribute and all of these type of things,
to those following at least.
Yeah. I don't know how many people you got on the live stream now, or like for both of y'all.
We got 11 here on the LinkUp page.
Okay. So some people actually tuning in. We apologize for being late, by the way, because this is black people we dealing with here, so y'all gotta.
Why we have to make it like it's black people? Why it just can't be like, this is the first time we was doing it. We was trying to go through the logistics. Why it gotta be a black people something?
Okay.
Why? I just ask it.
4 out of 5 of us will take.
You see some people just trying to signal out somebody.
That's your old people.
Hey, calm down, okay? Calm down.
Alright, yeah.
Like you said.
Alright.
Because I know I was here on time, okay?
Well,
so who was late then?
What?
I hear in silence. I
don't know. I just feel like people from Aruba sometimes just don't have respect for time.
Wow, look who's talking.
I don't know.
People from Aruba then, so it's like all the people from Aruba, not
yeah,
just a particular person.
It doesn't happen to be the people on the couch, but I mean, nobody.
Kind of real disrespectful because the amount of times he wastes my time.
Nobody calling names. So, but anyway, what kind of questions we had so far?
Alrighty then. So I mean, let's get into the first topic that was suggested to us, and I think we could do this like a combination topic. I can do this quite simple, like look at the first people who responded to the LinkUp IG with regarding what topics they think we should discuss. Just keep it in order, don't make it too complicated. And the first suggestion we got was global warming and the benefit of being a vegan, both to the environment and our bodies.
I mean, we have the resident vegans.
This
is
what
it seems like this person just basically asked me a personal question. And he just wanted to hear my opinion on it.
The one here, what specifically, they didn't say that, but I mean, a question like that on the LinkUp podcast, they basically just asking what to talk.
Yeah. Why pretty much.
What should we tackle first? Actually, you can, by talking about one, you're talking about the other one immediately as well.
And the thing that I meant with this is like a 2-part topic, is because we also got another question. This is kind of going out of order, but I felt like the two of them kind of linked together very well, because we got another question from somebody else that was basically, hold on, let me find it 1 second. If planets inevitably die, doesn't that contradict the climate change theory? Are we really the cause? And they both tied in, so I figure,
Can we start with the second one first, and then...
Any particular reason you want to start with that one?
Because we just need to nip that hole in the butt, like from now. You understand?
For how about we repeat the question again?
I don't remember the question off the top of my head.
I figured you'd have gone back to your phone. It's okay.
Yeah, but 1 second.
Yo, Kana really having a time of his life.
Yeah, the man enjoying this life stream. The question is, if planets inevitably die, doesn't that contradict the climate change theory? Are we really the cause? We being humans, are we really the cause of climate change? So
I mean, I don't know. Like, if 99% of most scientists around the world are all saying, yo, we the cause of this shit. If the people that causing this knew from like 1988 that they were causing this and they were trying to hide these documents for years, and now they're coming out. If all of this evidence is coming out and saying we the cause, and you still don't want to believe this, then you know what? Believe whatever you want to believe.
But
at this point,
before you continue, I'm gonna ask a question to the people on the live stream and thing. Do y'all want us to reveal who asked what question, and so we responding directly to people? Do y'all want to be called out and put out there like that, or would you prefer to just be anonymous?
I got
actually all in the room as well, you know.
Okay, for now, unless somebody nobody responding on my end. So I think for now we just keep the question for we keep it anonymous.
Let's keep it anonymous,
Okay.
anonymous,
But
anonymous.
Somebody else.
Okay, so I don't forget. Ricky said he asked a question, and he pretty much not understanding. He said, "What is he not understanding the question?"
Okay.
So what part of
I
it he
ain't
understanding, Ricky? And get to me whenever you get a chance to. But
wait, maybe Ricky, do you mean that because inevitably all planets die? Are you saying because it's already going to die?
It don't make a difference.
It don't make a difference if we're
fucking it up
faster or letting it go through its normal course, because we fucking it up faster.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And Rahima just asked, hey, big up Rahima. Just asked, practically commented the same thing. We're speeding up the process. Yeah, the planet's going to die anyway, but
there's a number of things things that cause planets to die. You talking about the sun exploding and shit that can happen in eons of years, like.
Because there's multiple ways for the planet to die. Like a comet could come and fuck us all up. Like what?
No, but he said, the planets in general they have a life cycle. Eventually this planet will go kaboom. But we speeding up that process of it possibly being just uninhabitable.
The thing is, with climate change,
humans.
we're not killing the planet. We're killing humans' ability to live on the planet. The planet can still be here. The planet is not going to die. The planet is not going to blow up. At least no time soon. If it does, it's because, like Wood say, a comet hit it, the sun blow up or something like that. But Earth ain't dying no time soon, just naturally. We gonna die, or we might not be able to live on Earth. It might be uninhabitable for uninhabitable for humans.
For mermaids, for example.
Are you want to try something?
Okay.
I mean, if
the man say mermaids.
In a sense of like, if you want to live in the Caribbean,
you're almost there. You could do it. I believe in you.
Let me see what's going on. Let me see if we could do this. So, Mr. Vallis seems to be coming, trying to see if we could connect him on the live stream, because it seemed like, hey. Oh God!
But you gotta put the phone a little close to the mic so the people can hear him and thing.
Let me. Oh God! Wait.
So they didn't know if this was all, if it was going to do all of this, taking people.
You are fast for yourself. You stick no look.
We figuring out how to do this live stream thing.
Yo.
What's up?
All right. So what was a misunderstanding we have in here then?
Listen, I don't know. Listen. My point is, I just focusing on the cause, the roots of the issue that they're saying. If we are not the cause of something that's happening already, that's what I'm saying.
But how you mean the cause? How you mean the root cause?
So you feel the Earth already warming?
Warming ain't happening because of us, bro.
Hi.
I mean, of course we contributing to it, but it is something that's inevitable. It's something that's happening with or without us. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying the theory that making it seem as though we caused this to happen, to me that is wrong.
Why you think about that?
I mean, we causing the CO2. Yeah, we causing. Look, we causing the CO2 emissions. Like, there's no natural.
Yeah, but
there's nothing natural about it.
We contributing to it, but we didn't cause it to happen.
We caused the CO2 emissions to be too much for the planet to handle. Extracting all the oil, all the crude oil, like all of this, the CO2 emissions is nothing on Earth that does more damage to the CO2 emissions than humans. There's nothing, not even volcanoes.
Okay. Let me ask you, so if humans wasn't on Earth, you don't think this would happen regardless?
CO2 emissions?
What?
Not to the scale where the Earth can't, like, heal itself.
There's natural things that what was the word, exhibit, put out CO2 or whatever.
Volcanoes are one of those things?
Yeah, there's natural occurring things that put out CO2, but the effect that the rapid growth, the rapid amount of CO2 that's being emitted, whether it's factory farming and agriculture and all of these things, we self was talking about, I don't know why Ricky playing like he don't understand this. We was talking about this in group chats and stuff, looking at analyzing the amount of stuff that comes out from cows and how much cows contribute to the greenhouse gases and the effect of climate change and whatnot. There's been numerous studies showing this. It might be a naturally occurring thing, but it's undeniable that humans are exacerbating the situation, making it 1,000,000 times worse. The amount of cars we have, air conditioning, rockets, planes, there's so much shit that's happening that we use. Exactly. Yeah.
Just want to point, Miss Zoo Rebel agrees with the caller. So, Ricky, you got someone who agrees with you? Huh?
Well, okay.
Not surprising. I don't know the person is that agrees with him, but
Again, I mean, you can rely, for me, you can rely on science as much as you want, and I do agree with science as well to a certain extent, but if you build a foundation based off of lies, everything that's being placed upon the foundation will also be lies.
But
what do you feel is a lie?
But how is a lie?
Conspiracy theories or anything, but you like the Woods said a while ago, you have 90% of scientists have the same claims, whatever. But I mean, that don't really mean shit.
How you mean that?
80% of the world could believe in God, could be religious, and God don't exist.
That's a complete
but that's a whole different thing.
That's a belief. That's a belief. Science could be tested.
There's a belief with people testing stuff for ages, and then people telling you, this book was written by God. No, that's a different thing.
If science is built on lies,
what is the lie?
Okay, but what's the lie then? So you say global warming itself is the lie.
Oh my God! Y'all trying to find.
You're trying to find out answers. You're trying to get clarity, dog.
Hold on. I allowed to swear on this thing?
Bye.
Go through. The way you want, dog.
Don't forget, it's all personal life though, so it's up to you. You gotta know what you did.
I don't give a fuck about my.
Go through things. Go through.
This guy.
That's totally different days.
I believe in global warming. Again, I believe it exists. I believe it's happening. I'm not saying that because it's happening, we should not give a fuck. All I'm saying is, if someone is going to say we are the reason that it started or we are the cause of it, to me, the word, the cause, is the problem for me. Using that word, we are the cause of this, is a fucking, it's wrong.
I agree with what you're saying.
I can agree with that.
Of course.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I can agree with that. The only thing I would add is, if we would put blame on anybody on this earth for causing this mess or exacerbating it to the point of no return, quote unquote, would be the oil companies that knew about this for years and didn't say a shit. I wouldn't blame the population.
Let me video call Shell now.
What?
I said let me video call Shell.
Boy,
What? Big man.
Yo, you got a contact?
Yo. We're not trying to get shut down before we even get too far. Like, what are you trying to do?
Next thing you're going to tell us call the queen. Like,
but this is what.
The king, whoever.
But yeah, I think we more or less arrive on a consensus of this question. I think we can go on to the next one.
Yeah, we got. I don't want guys stuck on one topic.
Yeah.
Call out the other names of the people who asked the other questions.
You see, you comfortable being exposed.
Yeah. We know everybody else got our confidence.
If you can ask a question, be bold enough to put your name on it. I put myself as tribute for the first one, so let's go.
Well, man calling for other sacrifices. That's what he said.
We gotta see how the other people in the comments respond to this. If they agree with Ricky and his philosophy, then yeah.
Come on, my hand gets tired too. So
that's why God gave you two,
I'm gonna be in the comments.
We know that.
We appreciate the live stream.
We appreciate the call.
And the question as well.
Alright, let's go. Hey, I feel like a radio host. What's going on here?
Yo, Bearded Savant, aka I don't know if you want me to put his government name.
I know your name,
but yeah. Bearded Savant says Ricky trying to put a hit on all of us.
Sound like it. Sound like it.
Bye.
Shout out to Bearded Savant.
Bye. Yes. Shout out to Andy. Big homie.
Alrighty then. So
Next
Woods,
question.
This was you was the person like this is your area.
Oh shit! Yeah, we still on the vegan part. Jesus, I kicked the camera. Jesus.
So
Christ,
what was the question for the vegans specifically?
It was about
the health
benefits for
and,
for the environment as well as your body. It'll be with a
I
vegan
mean,
diet.
let's talk about just the environment before we go to the health benefits. Like just cutting off eating meat contributes to the whole environment. One, because you're cutting off like the meat industry. Outside of the oil industry, the meat industry is just the second biggest contributor to CO2 emissions. So cutting off eating meat is already just by that definition alone helping with the environment because you're selling less meat. Hopefully,
I'll argue against that in a way that. Let me ask this question: then, do you really believe that is how it really works? Like, I get the point that you're making. I get what you're saying, and I agree with it. But my thing is, if government's still giving subsidies and all of these things to the people who produce meat, they're not gonna stop because like there's still a demand for it. There's still people who want it. You as one individual, yes, I know it
as
helps
a
to decrease the demand.
As one individual, no, but like
unless everybody else does as well, or at least maybe more than half of the population or something, until you really start getting into those numbers, you stopping eating meat ain't doing shit.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, for example, this year the biggest
if they're still killing 100 cows, this year they're killing 100 cows next year.
But that's the thing, the biggest milk producer in the US just filed for bankruptcy and blame that due to the rise of alternative plant-based milks. So I mean,
it's possible, but it just means to say that.
One person ain't gonna change it, but that one person needs to then drag around a couple of their friends, and that gonna make a difference. Cause
it reminds me of just talking about like recycling issues and all of these things, pollution and what's going on in the world. Also, things that
recycling is a different beast, though.
It's one of those things where it's like, yes, they tell you if you as an individual in your household turn off the lights and do these type of things and reuse things, it gonna like. To me, that's the same way I feel about veganism. It's like corporation, like you said, corporations are 90% of the problem. If you're trying to stop plastic and shit like that, and you telling, okay, humans gotta recycle and stuff, but if we still selling plastic sacks and plastic straws and all of these things,
the difference with that is the meat industry has a shelf life. So them not selling, like for example, with this is probably what happened with the milk industry. So they have a lot of milk that they need to sell, and they have it has an expiration date. And if they don't sell the first batch, don't sell the same amount that sold the last time, they're gonna cut down on production. The difference with milk and meat and stuff like that, and with plastic has a shelf life of forever.
You're right.
So for them, it's like, okay, we make this batch, we wait until this batch done, then we make another batch. It's a whole different type of story with meat. Meat is, we have this amount, we need to sell it now. If we don't sell it, we can't sell it no more. And that's the difference. So if one person in a group of 10, if one person don't buy meat, and that becomes a trend for every 10 person, that's a big loss for meat industry.
Yeah.
Because they lost a good amount of clients like that, and it's becoming a trend here now. just a population going one day without eating meat is a problem for the meat industry.
But I feel like the whole problem with this is that I feel like people just talking about doing it cold turkey is kind of problematic. I feel like you should give people an option to start, like, encourage people to become reducitarians first. And then maybe
I didn't even know that word existed.
Reducitarians is people who you start by cutting out meat during the week and then maybe only eating on the weekends, because a lot of people, when you tell them about veganism or stuff like that, what is happening is they just think about everything they can't eat and what it can't do, and or they have to plan it in, they don't have time for this, and it just doesn't seem possible to them. So, like, you have to give them an option that's more convenient, maybe a little more better suited for normal people on the go, stuff like that. And then once they see that is plausible and that they don't really miss it, then they're going to start to reduce the intake and reduce the amount of meat and dairy that they're consuming. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of saying, stop it cold turkey.
Because that makes sense.
But that's what I
You will have a lot more people trying it out if you go like, you know what, maybe you could stop, just try doing it through the week. You don't even got to go full vegan, just stop like maybe red meat
To me, a
and dairy.
easy starting point is milk.
Yeah,
Drink almond milk.
almond milk.
Real milk doesn't taste all that great.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that like ever
But
since
the problem is cheese
I
and
literally don't miss like regular milk since I stopped drinking it for like the past 2 years or so. At least, like it's been a while.
however,
Exactly what you're talking about is what happened to me when I tried to go
exactly.
vegan, and that's why almond milk is one of the things that stuck with me. Like I did it for maybe 3 weeks or so, like not eating any meat, buying a bunch of those garden
a
gourmet,
lot of people just go
the
cold turkey
fake meat and whatnot.
But
And you know what has happened?
only do
You know what has
almond milk.
happened? If you do not know
Yeah,
how to
that's what- that's what
plan
we know.
out a proper vegan diet, you're going to end up being hungry.
Yep.
And the hunger is what's going to turn you, and like that, you're going to go from
then you
want
go
to
on
be
the road
vegan,
and
and
there's
then you're going to be
nothing you
like,
could-
this is impossible, and then all of a sudden you're going to put you off of it, and then you're going to go back, and then it's going to be 10 times worse. So then you're going to overdo it on the meat and stuff like that, instead of like slowly taking one thing out of your diet, taking this out of your diet. And with milk too, like you could say milk, but it's also like, you know, butter, cheese.
Just
any-
addictive type of
yeah,
food in general.
lactose.
There's a
Cheese
lot
is a
more
big-
that
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
is
cheese,
non-vegan,
Joe, cheese
but it
has
just means-
legit
Cheese is
cocaine in it, no. Not legit cocaine, but it's like a bite, like it's
addictive factors.
yeah, it's very similar to cocaine. I don't
That's
remember
what
what
you
it's
mean.
called right
when's the
now,
last time I had cheese?
but that shit addictive as fuck.
Speaking about
cut out
cocaine,
cheese?
y'all know that they used to put like cocaine in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
back
it's
in
called
the day, yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I know that, but my mother didn't. She thought it was crazy. My mother and my cousins thought it was crazy. I was like, yeah, they used to put cocaine in the fuck. Everybody thought that was insane.
The world is a crazy place.
Yeah.
So
But also, you right? I gonna call you out on something because you're the tad bit hypocritical about
hypocrite.
being conscious of the planet and stuff, but begs you to buy clothes every week. And one of the biggest contributors to CO2 outstoot is the fashion industry.
yeah,
You could like them videos that be
But-
I just watch it. It's like
but
crack.
I do a lot of my clothes come from like vegan stores and stuff like that. No,
Okay.
I don't buy my clothes at fast shop
okay.
places. I don't buy my clothes at H&M.
So
I
it's
don't buy my
100%
clothes at
cotton.
Zara. I buy my clothes at vegan conscious
Also,
places.
every week when you go and
Kinda
buy
say, like-
clothes, every week you just spend like a good 30 euros on a shirt.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, what you
Kinda say,
whispering
like-
there?
Hmm?
What you
Kinda
whispering?
say, like,
When was the last time I bought something at
I
Zara?
just saying.
I ain't watching
Let me
Exactly. How I lying there?
Okay, let me watch the tag on your shirt. If it's Zara, you fuck no.
It ain't Zara. I ain't got Zara on. Hey, these people have no. Yo, I made a
You
conscious
lying.
decision.
You know why you lying? Because
Why?
half the time you don't pull up here in Primark jeans and don't tell me they're not from Primark because I recognize
Me?
them. Yes,
Me?
the ones that you got sewn, they're from Primark.
What are you talking about?
They're from Primark.
getting
They're
exposed
from
now.
Primark. Look at it.
First of all,
I feel
right?
it's time to go
Hold
back
on.
I had kind of come
Yo,
out
yo,
of my
hold
personal
on,
life
hold on,
a little
hold on,
bit,
hold on,
but
hold on, hold
I
on.
feel this is the
Kinda
right
like
time
shit
to go
now.
back.
Hold on,
Kinda
hold on,
like
hold on.
shit.
Kana,
Kinda like
Kana,
Kinda
you
like
know me,
shit.
right?
You get the tits. You get the tits
Kana.
out here in the street.
you know me, right?
This is a
Have I ever,
versus live.
have I ever,
okay,
have I
got it.
ever said in the group, yo, let's go to Primark?
Not that I could remember.
Okay, but
Have
that
I
don't mean
ever-
those jeans ain't from Primark. I just see
Yo,
them at
ever
Primark
since
all
the day,
time.
ever since the day,
Okay.
we start the H&M boycott. Have I ever walked in H&M again?
You walk in, yeah, but you don't buy nothing.
Whoop. Whoop.
Have you ever seen me buy anything cheap?
But Kana don't be
man,
with
just
you
stand
every
on
week.
it.
yo,
Kana don't be with you all the time.
The few times I have been there,
I don't buy cheap clothing, dog.
Man,
Primark is
it's not
anti.
people know.
Yo, Biggs, hey, Kalissa.
I wish it was all
I
ballers
gonna
like
bring
Woods,
the
but-
pants for you, and I gonna look at the
Okay,
brand.
but here's the thing. Once
The man feel
it's
personally
like
attacked.
60. Let me tell you something. Once
this what happens when we get
once
vegan
it's like
upset.
60, once it's like 60% polyester, your whole argument is rendered useless basically because that's not natural occurring fibers,
I
which means it's
understand.
plastic.
But you
So
see,
what's your fucking point?
You seeing,
It's not
but
biodegradable anyways.
where you see polyester?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Let me see the percentage of your fucking shirt. It's cotton?
Yeah.
It's 100% cotton.
You touch it, right? I put this in. Yo, you put this in the dryer. I can't wear this no more, Kalissa.
So every shirt you guys 100%
Not every shirt, because I still got old shirts. Some of those shirts before I went vegan, before I
just
went
like
conscious.
shit,
Those are
you know, I
the
just like
old
shit,
ones.
right?
I ain't gonna throw them away, but I conscious about what I buying. And it's not all vegan clothes are
Okay.
expensive, no. Yo,
So now
I gonna drop some links.
I understand,
later.
but now I need to know something, Biggs, because I know you don't be buying clothes every week. What side hustle you don't be doing, and hook me up?
Man,
I DJ like I
DJ
DJ
like that,
every
like that?
week.
The man tell us every week about how much he
I
DJing.
find you got real personal about business without one. Why?
Why? Because you know, like a bitch be out here.
Now you're
struggles
counting
be
the man
real.
pockets.
Not
I-
the struggle be real. He always saying about how he got go out and buy clothes every week.
Cause I'm
He's
on
tell me this
I'm on
several
pictures
times.
almost every week. Like I can't be wearing the same clothes in every picture.
you
I
can.
mean,
I
everybody,
wear a
you know, you
black
got a
shirt
washing
every
machine.
Every week we do this link up and I'm in a
right.
black shirt every week. Consistency.
Consistency is key.
You
No,
know,
but you can't be wearing the same pants every week too. No,
There's
if a
nothing
black
wrong- there's nothing wrong with a uniform.
and the man Kana does come with his link up shirt on a regular basis. That's pretty much become his uniform more or less.
Because there's a
Like,
washer.
Wait,
and-
why
and
is
a
my
washer and-
fashion
and a
sense
dryer.
all of a sudden being ridiculed right now?
But then again,
I don't understand this.
Tell us
but
to start
then
this.
again,
You gotta be
he
answering
got
all the
cotton
vegan
right, so he
questions.
can't wash it. Remember that.
Alright.
He can't put
I
it in
don't
the
know.
washing
even-
machine.
I
He
even-
said
I
that.
you can't put it in the
I
dryer.
even bought
He
like
can't go
a
right.
rack now to hang all my clothes because I don't want to keep using the dryer.
Alright. I feel we got
Yes.
a little
Anyway,
far.
Wait,
anyway,
wait.
this is the
You're
Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah.
telling us
This one.
about the benefits of veganism for the
shit.
environment and for the
the
human
environment
body.
is just basically you're contributing into not putting in your money in the cattle industry and stuff like that. That's the first. And just for your health in general, look, there's a difference. If you want to be healthy, then being vegan doesn't automatically mean you're healthy. You have to be
That's
plant-based. So
Okay,
your
I got a
food
question for that.
has to be plant-based, nothing processed. Nothing processed. That's the most important thing.
Because I was doing that too, like, but if you don't have time to plan it out properly, you either gonna go hungry, you gonna eat shit. And why I do was I was eating shit. Like I was eating terrible.
Oreos and things because Oreos are vegan.
Even that's debatable because some of the
Oreo
sugar,
every day.
some of the sugar, depending where the Oreo's made, they're not all of them vegan.
Not all of them vegan. But
Yeah,
a
because
lot
of the sugar is like made by like animals, and they have a whole nother debate about
But the
stuff
thing is,
being
like
organic.
palm oil
Yeah,
is
that
technically
too.
not vegan because it's
oil.
anti-environment and stuff like that. Because they have to cut down a bunch of the orangutans' houses.
Okay, now I'm confused on what vegan means because I feel like we're switching the definition of
Okay.
vegan. If you're going to tell
No,
me that
'cause, like,
something that
it's-
come out of the ground is not a plant,
No.
No,
It's not vegan?
Because being
Animal-
vegan is also being
environmentally
Mentally
conscious.
conscious.
No, being vegan
No.
and being environmentally conscious, in my opinion, is to. I know
No,
you're
no,
a
no,
vegan.
no, no, no.
Look, if
If
you're-
you're
if-
talking about dietary, then it's
That's what I'm
plant-based.
saying.
Yeah,
There's different
No.
types of vegan.
Plant-based, there's
No,
plant-based.
that's called
There's
plant-based.
moral
Then vegan.
there's ethical
No,
vegan,
no,
there's
the-
dietary vegan.
No. When you're talking, when you say the word vegan, you're talking about a lifestyle. When you say plant-based, you're speaking
Plant-based.
plant-based is the diet. You're
Okay.
just talking about the diet. If you go and call yourself vegan, is
Doesn't
you're
mean
talking
that your food is plant-based. That's
Yeah.
also another thing. Yeah.
is like if you're talking about
Okay.
being vegan, you're talking about the whole lifestyle. So mainly when people refer to themselves as vegan, they're talking about they don't use
I don't know what people y'all mean,
like
but
cruelty-free makeup. Stop zooming in that goddamn like stop it. Don't nobody need to see my pores, okay? Relax yourself.
Y'all want to
Jesus
see your
Christ.
pores? Comment in the comment
Relax.
section.
Don't nobody need to
And I'll
zoom in
make it
that
happen
much.
one time.
Relax.
wow.
That was.
He trying to make sure they could see every eye,
Okay,
every
but
hair.
Yo, I get a heart
I
after that, though.
don't
I
understand.
had a response for that. The question basically being, there's people who suggest that for them a vegan diet would do absolutely nothing for them, it wouldn't be benefits to them in absolutely no way.
How
There's
do-
certain people who suggest
how they know if
that
they don't try?
there's. Can you let me finish my
sorry.
question? There's certain people who suggest that a carnivore diet is the benefit to them because when they were eating mixed things and all of this stuff, they had more negative reactions to the body and stuff. Like Jordan Peterson, somebody on that Joe Rogan has on his podcast many times, is one of the advocates of a carnivore diet. Talks about how
Didn't he just go into the hospital like not that long ago?
I don't know nothing about what he doing in his health. According to him, he's been healthy. Last time he's been on
No,
Joe
like
Rogan or doing
like
something.
recently went to the hospital.
Okay,
Yeah.
true. I know nothing about that. That could be the case. And there's other people as well. He's one person, but Joe Rogan has many people, doctors and dietitians and these type of things, talking about advocating for a carnivore diet, how certain people, it reminds me of another topic that we was talking about a while back on the podcast. I had mentioned it briefly. Some chick who could only eat, I forget what exact disease was, but she had some condition where she could only eat like these little pink cookies and a bunch of other trash.
Like I could, like the thing is, I could understand if a certain condition that you have doesn't allow you to eat certain things, because everybody's allergic to something, and some people
Do you think a carnivore diet, eating nothing but meat,
is not
could be
bullshit.
beneficial
No.
to health?
Hell no. If you want clogged up arteries and stuff like that, by all means, do you, boo boo. Eat those red meats and those chickens and all of those stuff in bulk, and see if you're gonna get any type of health benefit. But look, the thing is, with going with any type of diet, you have to do your research. You need to know what you need to eat to get the most out of it. But the thing with plant-based is, a lot of people, when they go vegan, the first thing they think is lettuce, or I'm gonna eat salads and stuff like that. And a salad is not gonna fill you up. A salad,
don't have
when
no
I
calories.
eat a salad, is just something complimentary before I go and actually eat. Maybe I don't have the time to eat a big meal now, but I will eat a salad now to hold me down for an hour max. For then, when I'm home, I can eat something.
Okay, fellas, then people will be back. Sorry, no,
Oh,
continue.
yeah. I go eat something worthwhile. But that's the problem. A lot of people, when they go vegan for the first time, they starving themselves. And when they eating a lot, but what they eating doesn't have a lot of calories in it.
Yeah, and
like if
or
you want to go
nutrients,
vegan, go
yeah.
eat. Like you have to
Lentils.
incorporate beans, lentils,
Lentils,
like those.
beans.
Those are the core. Like brown rice, don't eat white rice because
rice.
that's just bullshit. Doesn't have any nutrients in
You
it.
can't be afraid of carbs neither. Like,
Yeah.
like you just
Like-
need, your body need that to function because they need to burn off something. You understand?
Like if you're eating a lot of fat, then you can't eat a lot of carbs. But if you have a low fat diet, you can eat a lot of carbs. That's the thing that people don't know. Because if you're eating, like the problem is eating a lot of meat and a lot of carbs. They don't go together.
But
Because meat, because the carbo.
But I think I don't need that because you could eat high fat diet, but then you need to be eating good fats.
Yeah, plant-based fats.
Yeah,
Avocado
so like
shit.
avocado is
Plant-based
really
fats,
good
yes.
because it has helped your digestive system, right?
So avocados in anti-vegan?
What?
How?
I mean,
In terms of detrimental to the environment, the agriculture, the process of farming, like there's few things that are more detrimental in terms of the people who plant them in the different places where avocados are planted in Mexico, in different places in Latin America, where majority of these things come from. The amount of water and different things that is used, same shit that we're talking about, like agriculture, what's the word? Meat production.
Yeah.
But the same shit that going into that, the same criticism is just as bad, if not maybe even
Yeah,
worse.
the thing is,
because of the prices avocado selling at, the prices that the local people actually growing them does get for farming and all of this type of shit. There's been numerous people to do deep dives on the avocado industry and how it's become such a craze and whatnot, and the prices of it.
The thing with farming in general is not just with avocados, with a bunch of other fruits and vegetables that
we do it in an unnatural way.
Yes,
we do it
and
in a way that just
everything
does not
needs to
benefit
happen.
the environment in no kind of way,
Exactly.
because you got just huge plots of land dedicated to doing this one thing,
Yeah.
killing all kind of natural biodiversity in the environment, all kinds of shit.
That is it's the way we grow food in general, and a lot of the food that we grow also doesn't end up in our plates. It goes back to the animals because the animals need to feed on veggies for them to grow them.
Yes,
for
you
us
heard
to eat.
correctly, Kana.
Yes. I said it like that just to fuck around. But that's the thing. Like, we should technically work on seasons and work with what we can grow in the season that we can grow it.
Yeah.
Like the best case scenario is that we grow these biodomes in the future where everything is not really done on ground self, but more on these regulated like domes where veggies and fruits can grow, but we ain't there yet.
Stuff that was happening on Mars. Well, at least I was watching a show on Mars called Mars on Netflix.
Oh,
It's a
the
documentary
bio
kind of
series.
drama thing at
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
time.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Like,
It's worth watching.
yeah, and also like I had this on a recent podcast that I was on as
I
well.
wanted to talk to you about that. This
we
damn
could-
cheetah.
Hey,
Whoa!
yo,
Whoa!
Infidelity in the podcast world.
Hey. But like, the most ideal thing
trees
is
are not
for
the
all of
highest
us
form.
just to grow something in our yard.
I like how he brushed it off. Now
Yeah, he went into his
I
thought.
wanted it.
The man
I
who
wanted
was
to
just being a cheetah.
I want to close off the
he
the
was
vegan
finishing.
conversation.
He was finishing.
Like the best thing we can do is just grow some veggies, not everything, but just grow some stuff in your yard, or get like a small dome in your house that's the size of a fridge, and just grow some stuff in your house. That already will contribute to something.
Before we like completely leave this topic, I got one more question. Do y'all think it's possible to really truly be conscious in today's day and age completely?
You
like
can
we
be
all fucking up in some way.
You can be 100%. Like no vegan on this earth is 100% vegan.
I mean,
but
like, when it comes to
your
thinking
goal
about where
is
you
to
get your food, where you get your clothes,
Yeah.
where you get your electronics, you contributing to somebody's
Some-
oppression somewhere.
exactly.
Like,
But the thing is, the goal is not hopefully
you can try to reduce it
Yes.
as much as can, but there's so much shit that's going on that people just not even aware of. From like we all the phones and shit that we use, and the
Of
coltan
course,
mining going on
of
in the
course.
Congo and different shit like that. The amount of instability these type of things lead to help contribute or help add to the local economies of these different places that we just extracting all the minerals out of. I had to just think about it. Like I feel it's noble. I respect the people who try and all of that stuff, but it's like it's impossible.
My whole argument is like, just try.
Yeah,
Because
I
the thing
feel
is, like, because there's always 2 points of it. There's the people that feel like, yo, why even try? Because like, whatever I do, there's still going to be some type of oppression somewhere. But that mentality is kind
Never
of
leads
fucked
to
up.
change.
Yes, because if you don't try to even minimize your fingerprint on something, then nothing's gonna change because nobody's gonna try. But just try. Like, it's not doing something to help a little bit, just a little thing you're doing. Maybe you don't feel it, but if a large group does a little bit, that's a lot.
That's what I think. Like,
I concur.
So don't try to look at what
something-
else somebody else doing. Just do your part, however small it is. It's the same thing with like picking up. Look, we're going to the islands for a bit. Picking up garbage on the beach
Take
and stuff
pride.
like that.
Don't
If-
throw it outside.
yeah, like if one person picks up one piece of garbage.
Shout out to Pete. He been cleaning up beaches and things like that on his own for regular just because he feel like doing it. That was Ricky dude who just called me. Dude who just calling about climate change. His brother is out there cleaning up the beaches and shit like that. And so, man, shout out to Pete.
Yeah, but big shout out to Pete.
Remember, we islands and we thrive on.
We surrounded by water. We's islands. Like we's islands.
No, we island.
We island people,
grew up on
so-
islands, right? Hey, don't come with your correct grammar with someone that come from the island. No. Anyway, but so anyway, you know what I mean.
Shaw like shit. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're taking him on. You know he likes shit.
Just do your part, basically, however big or small it is.
That's what I was
Alrighty
saying,
then.
like
We've been on environment and stuff like that.
Before we continue with the topics, shout out to Bean, shout out to Amazing Double, shout out to Iraq Nira, shout out to Only Shay.
Okay, so all
She
these
said
the
hello
people,
everybody.
these are the people who are on the live
Say
stream.
hello, everybody.
I am Pedro.
All right then, Pete.
Yeah,
Alright.
there's a lot of people on the LinkUp IG that either is people as your friends, my friends, kind of like. There's a lot of different mixed people, so we might not know everybody that's
Yeah.
like personally coming in. Or I may not know everybody like that. Not by IG name at least. Then
Yeah.
I just forget.
So with the word reducitarian, right?
yeah.
Reggie said his own autocorrect can even.
There's like a thing though. There's really a thing. Yeah.
I legit never
Because you
heard.
have like
It is the first day I ever heard the term.
Hey,
pescatarian.
we dropping no
pescatarian.
No,
Dropping some knowledge here in the link up.
Jamie.
Because
Expeditiously.
Expeditiously. TIA got shit on us. You go, Kalesa. You go. It's a light skin thing. Tell them.
He's an asshole. He's a fucking asshole.
Okay then.
So what's going on with this light skin thing?
I don't know. It's beef.
Anyways, I had
Seem
to
like
like
beef.
extensive research because I changed my diet a number of times to try and help like with like some health issues, and so I was like all about different dietary lifestyles, but then like finding a balance between certain things, and then I tried the whole vegan thing, but then I was under eating and I couldn't find a way to get in enough nutrients, calories, all of that shit. So then I slowly start to incorporate different stuff in my diet again, but like I still don't eat meat and I just pretty much stay away from dairy and stuff like that. But the reducitarian thing is something I come across like a few years back. It's like a real thing. Like people who does throughout the week they don't touch nothing. And then in the middle, and then in the weekends, you know, there is that one little. It also got something called like a flexitarian.
I
Look,
heard about that one before.
Yeah,
Right?
that
Okay.
I
one.
heard flexitarian before.
Why y'all know about
flexitarian
breatharianism?
is
What?
Why y'all know about breatharianism?
People with bad breaths?
No, people out here that claim that they're so in tune with this monk type of lifestyle.
they don't eat, they don't drink.
They live off. They can. They're so in tune with the natural being and the natural world
Yeah,
around them
that's
that they're able to like transmute air into the natural nutrients and shit that they
So
need.
they
So they're
have-
just out here meditating and breathing.
They
and
have their
living.
own
So-
version of photosynthesis.
So
That's what you're trying.
According to them.
Everybody.
According to them.
There's Monk SpongeBob.
Okay,
According to them.
interesante.
All right then.
So they basically
Google
a
shit.
plant. That's what
Tell
you're telling me.
on Google it.
Boy.
What's the what?
Breatharianism. That's like Rastafarianism, breatharianism. That's the people who subscribe to this philosophy and just live off of air.
Rastafarianism and breatharianism have something to...
No.
No. We just talk
It's
about
like
the-
a philosophy,
Ooh,
like
yeah.
Rastafarianism, breatharianism, that kind of way.
I was
True.
just about to say, maybe
It's
that's
crazy,
the reason.
but, you know,
Well, we-
supposedly people out here doing it and living. I don't know how.
They're lying, that's how.
That's what
They're
I think,
lying.
you know. But who am I to judge?
Unless somehow they turn into
I
autotrophic.
vaguely remember like a documentary on this, on this very topic, but the guy that was actually like championing it, like every time they would like record him or something would
You
go
saw the
wrong
same
with the
thing I
recording.
saw. You
So-
saw the same thing I saw.
Yeah. So
But basically, it was this dude who was living in a tree
Man,
and
probably dead
doing
now.
it for a really long time. And supposedly, like, he was so deep into things that when it comes to dealing with the climate and the weather and stuff like that, he was so into this thing that he could control his body temperature and stuff like that to prevent against, like, if it's cold out and thing. By meditating, he can control his heart rate to increase his body temperature and all of these things to protect against cold. Breatharianism is just like part a next level basic version of that and thing, like crazy monk shit. But I don't. And like what Woods was saying, the dude, there was never a continuous thing filming the man forever. Is like people just come to him and you don't know if he's really just not eating at all or and where the place is not something that most people could just access easily with cameras. So you go there for a limited amount of time and you don't
you don't
it's
really
not
know if
never a continuous shot to really say
if
like,
you
okay,
fucking around or
he
not.
never going somewhere and eating something or nothing like that.
it's like religion, very vague.
All right. Before we get into the official next topic, what's with you on this other podcast? How that was? What that was about?
So I basically
Talk to us
got
about
invited. I basically got invited to the.
You
to
told them that you part of the LinkUp?
Yeah.
Did you promote?
Yeah.
Okay then. Cool.
I told. I
I
told
don't
them.
really want to hear nothing
I
about
told
that.
they invited me
better
to
than them,
come
probably.
talk about veganism and stuff. And I said, okay, that seems like I know it's a fun topic. And we also went to talk about
really have a
Zwarte Piet
different
and stuff,
idea
but
of
we
fun.
talk in a Peruvian language, so Papimento.
Okay.
So
Papimento podcast.
yeah, it was more for the island. So I tried to contribute to the Peruvians. down
Yo,
there.
this podcast thing getting up there now. Like a lot
of people
more
into it,
more
for
and more
sure.
people starting to do it. I still waiting for other St. Martiners to do it. I ain't seeing much from Celeste. Celeste. Hey, Celeste sis, what are you doing? Where are you been? I haven't seen nothing for you in a while. I was going good. What going on?
Yeah, I
But-
wasn't gonna, put it out there like that, but
No, but I could say it as a fan.
Me like that. You hear?
I could say I'm saying it as a fan. I was looking forward to seeing more of this stuff.
And that's
so
how I feel. I feel the same way about them. Cultivate
too. Yeah,
Let Her Finish.
Let Her Finish.
I was excited to seeing all the Simon podcasts coming up and joining the mix of things, and then it's like they all just vanish and left us all alone. So
yeah,
like, we the only people in this industry. It seems like.
Well, anyway, so the next topic, we here for a minute on this vegan thing.
Yes. Another topic that we can touch on is relationship values and if they exist. This was another one of the questions that was submitted to us. So what do we think here in the room?
I mean,
it's kind of vague because it didn't really. I would like to get a little more of a concrete on what is relationship. What does this person at least perceive as relationship values?
As a human being,
see if they exist.
You should just have like your own values in general, your principes. Principles. Yes.
I don't.
So when you go into a relationship, you need to then figure out with the significant other, whoever it may be, man, woman, it.
That's insensitive.
Yeah, that's. Whoa. Oh, sorry, they.
They exactly.
To then
Get
figure
your
out
pronouns
what the bounds are and what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. It's a conversation basically.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
quite
subjective.
understand the question. It's kind of
No,
vague to me.
I think the way I interpret it then is basically like in the era we living in today, a lot of shit. The view on relationships is very changed. There is a lot of side chick culture and side man culture and this type of thing and baby mama and the marriage, like all of that dying. And I feel like to me that's basically what you're trying to act like.
Yep.
Is it really that relationship? Like, do people even care about relationship? Is the value put on it? Like, is all of that dead? To me, that's kind of how I interpreted the question.
That's also how I interpreted it. I think she was talking more so like traditional romantic relationship values. That's what she.
If the person who submitted the question is, in the stream, in the live stream or something, please provide a little clarification if you want, so that we could properly dive into the topic. If I'm off on my interpretation of it, but based on my interpretation,
I would more or less say the same thing, but it goes person by person. Like, kind of like what was already being said. Everybody's gonna have their own. Like, well, actually, yeah, sorry, what was I saying? Everybody gonna have their own values and come to the table with their own shit. So, like, you have to be able to see whether what that person does is good for you or not, and what you could take or what you can't take. Everybody gonna come with baggage. I ain't give a fuck what nobody say.
Exactly.
Everybody come in with their own story and entertain them because they family or like they mother crazy, their father super strict, or like their cousin on drugs and they trying to take care of their cousin and the cousin living with them. It's always something. Everybody got some kind of shit that they're going to come with. So you have to be able to know what you're going to take from it or not.
I don't think that's what she was referring to. Like, everybody is come with baggage so, but it's like, what I think she was talking about is that people in this day and age don't strive for like the traditional values. Like, now it's kind of like, oh, we is what we is, we fucking whatever. It's like nobody really, it's not about the baggage, it's about the fact that nobody really want a relationship, or like very few people. And I don't know if it maybe have something to do with the fact that, like, social media, you got access to people like that, tend to be out here wilding and whatnot. But but I think she more referring to the fact that it just seemed like, and I could kind of agree, that nobody really looking for a relationship. Everybody looking to like do their own thing and just have.
That's all it is.
But
do you
Just
think
mess
it's
around on
really
the
like
side?
just everybody that just specific ages though?
I think everybody got a time and an era in their life, Jet. If you just happen to
That's
catch
true.
somebody on this specific, when they're on this specific wave and then they're not on this relationship wave, then this thing. But
I can be real honest with you. I think it also have a lot to do with how like a lot of people growing up right now. Because in my opinion, a lot of my friends, we all come from like, a good bit of my friends come from like single parent households. You understand? So it's like at the same time, if I feel like in part, if you grow up with like a certain view of family or like a relationship, you understand what I'm saying? And you never see that growing up, I think to a certain extent it does affect you, because it's like, okay, marriage and family, it never crossed your mind on that level. Because I'm gonna be real honest with you, I never think about getting married, and I don't know if it was because like my mother was never married. You understand what I'm saying? It's because it's not normal to me. It's not my normal. And I think for a lot of people, their norm is like broken home and
To add on to what you're saying, I feel like that certainly is true, but I feel like it's also that there's a generation of people that have seen the failed marriages.
also
Like,
that.
Is like that what you're saying, that's definitely true, because I know for myself it was a very similar thing where like my mother was married, divorced. Basically that was like when I was 4 and shit. So for me it's like there was never really a relationship there. He was around for a couple of times.
Did that
but
affect you in any type of way, your mother getting divorced? Or do you remember it
I
having
was
any
too,
effect?
I had no like bearing, no contribution to the thing when that divorce was happening.
So,
like
you didn't realize something, or you don't remember realizing that something like was going on.
Like
or,
I
your
got
mother
few
was maybe-
memories of my father being around the house and stuff for a while, but it wasn't a whole long time for me to develop a connection, for me to have any real thoughts about the situation before it happened. It was like, oh, well, if you're not being around no more, then that's just what it is.
I was always curious about it because like I used to have, you would see on TV or like on shows when the parents separate or when they get divorced, like the child have to go to therapy and all that kind of shit.
that's what
And I
people
would-
shit.
Okay, you know what? You would say that, but I've seen it happen in real life too with black homes and black communities. So I mean, it's possible.
I've written a
But
song about it.
it
That will be
is-
on the project, So tune in to January 8th when the Mistuh King LP drops. There's a song tackling this specific issue. about
Nice block.
Sponsored by.
Nice block.
Sponsored by.
Yeah.
But
the King, KMG,
Hey.
King
anyway,
Media Group.
whoa, I kind of forget where I was going with this now.
The effects of
We
single
think-
parents, the effects of
Jesus
single
Christ.
parenting and stuff like that. Like
Divorce. That's what you're saying. That way people have to go to
Oh,
therapy.
oh yeah, no, yeah. But King was saying it's a more white people thing. But the thing is, I was always wondering if that's a normal reaction a child's supposed to have, like when their parents don't see each other, or you see one less parent, or see a parent different. 'Cause for me, I started to have a lot more fun when my parents had separated. I don't know about anybody else.
Like
Me,
For how old he was?
it probably would have been
like 12.
It probably would have been.
I was old enough to
me.
know what was really going on.
And that's the
That's
thing. It probably
different.
would have been a lot different if he was around till I was a teenager or something, and then they split or whatever. Like if I'm 4, it's like I don't remember shit
But
from now till 4.
No,
How
but I
much
mean,
of
but
that is his-
but also your father was still around, right?
yeah, that's true.
So that's
and
what
this
I'm
man
saying.
was
Like,
in Aruba, so
if-
I mean,
Okay, that's
so you have Aruba then? But how you
actually, I
do-
feel like we talked about this before.
really?
Yeah,
But you have to remember, she'll be on and off, so the innocent should be
Yeah.
here for each our conversation.
I feel it.
And then
But
some of the
that
stuff
is a different. My
before
father
or
was still there. You can't.
Yeah.
Even
So
though they
that-
wasn't together, that was into something.
And also, I feel like it's different if after they split, the situation get better for you than if it get worse. You understand what I'm saying?
I
Because
was livid. I mean, I was sad for my mother and my father with like going through their own shit individually, but like for me personally as a child,
about the gifts.
You was like, right? Exactly.
Thinking about
it
the
wasn't.
gifts,
I divided the forces, so I divided and conquer. So now I can go through each of them to firstly for what I want to do. You know.
'Cause, like,
don't you?
To be honest
I
with
mean
you,
that
You
was
see, like,
that was
I ain't gonna lie,
something.
those are things that I definitely have thought about. Some like, just talking to different people, parents, when it's like, yo, so you ask your mother for this, she said no. You ask your father, wait, you have an option to ask somebody else.
right?
Like in moments like that, when my mother tell me no, it's like, bye, yo, it would be great if there was
But,
somebody
I mean,
else here
my-
that I could ask to,
I mean, the everyday life, my mother was, judge and jury. But like for certain things, I could have like asked my father first, and then once I get like his endorsement, like asking my mother would be a whole lot easier because like the father already
Right.
say yes. So like, I mean, he is our parent as well.
But I will
Asking
tell
my
you right
father-
now, it's a good thing my father was in St. Martin because my father's soft. Like my father would tell me yes to anything, and I feel like that would have been problematic.
But my
I
father
feel
would
like
maybe
that's
work
a
for it.
typical
My mother-
relationship with like father daughter.
father,
type of thing.
that, bye.
Yeah, because my mother let me get away with a lot of shit. My father would have never let
No,
me get away.
I
but
feel like
like-
it's a lot harder for a man to be hard on a woman.
Yo,
Like his
But-
daughter, then like
my
I
father
feel
would
like
say
in
yes to
general,
everything, right?
He kind of like my father kind of chill. Like he
Like,
he
I
one of
feel like
those.
parents just don't want to deal with the tears and whatever else comes with it. Like if I tell you no, or like the reaction generally be a little different from like a girl child and a boy child, in my opinion. I don't know. I ain't got no sisters, but
No, but I see how my father is with my brothers too. That's why I'm saying like in general my father is like more laid back and stuff. I mean, yeah, I think he a little hard on like one of my brothers versus like me, for example. But in general, my father a lot more laid back than my mother, for example.
Getting an endorsement from
You
my
smacking?
father
Yo,
is nothing that.
Rashid, I feel
Because
like
my mother was the one that always made the last decision in
Right?
the house. I could ask
Don't
my
matter
father
what
for
my
anything,
father
right? My
says.
father would say yes. Yo, but it would the follow up would be, but go ask your mother.
Right.
And that alone is like, yo,
You know,
yeah.
What's the point of asking you?
I kind of feel
I
that
have
would be
no
a
authority, yo.
if my mother child have to be in our life like that, we have to be together. I feel like that would be something I would do as well. Unless it's something I really know she would say no for, then I kind of be like, all right, what you really you going to take the consequences of your mother finding out what gonna happen, and if you're ready for those consequences, like, hey, go ahead, do your thing. Once you don't cause no physical harm to yourself or anybody else, go through.
You don't even know, because it's so tense that, like, I used to be a St. Martin and I used to want to go do something, and my father used to tell me, go call your mother. Like, it used to be that serious, because my father would be like, yeah, I mean, as long as your sister going, that's fine. But then he used to be like, wait, go call your mother, ask your mother if it's okay. And I used to be like, man, that
For me, the other way around, it was always easier to ask my mother. And then she would always send me to my father. But the reason I went to you is because I don't want to ask my father.
right?
So
that's what we here having this conversation,
she'd
bro.
be like, go ask your father. My father ain't home yet, so I got to wait till he reach home. So during the day, before he reach home, I'm in my bedroom.
You
You practicing. You going through all different ways. How you can ask it. How you gonna start.
I would clean the whole house, dog. Clean it up.
Trying to get him on the good
Boy,
side.
soften my mother up before she come in.
Hold up. Are you remember when y'all used to have to go ask something, and you used to be sitting at the edge of the bed pretending like you care about what they're watching on TV and asking them questions?
Nah, I used to go and hug up my mother. She'd be like, okay,
how was
alright, what you want? What you want? Child, what you want now?
Nah, I could definitely relate to what Calissa says.
Yeah,
That was my move. Like,
Yo, I would
That's
be.
my move.
like, oh, so when you watching, how is your day? At the edge of the bed, I ain't even watching her. Back to her. Yeah. Okay, so mommy, check this, right?
Nah, but I used to go and hug up and
Like,
like
knock
crawl
on the
up.
room,
Right?
open to see, is she awake? Is the TV watching her? Is she watching the TV?
Yo,
Cause then I gonna turn it off, then she gonna get vexed with me and tell me, but I was watching it with your eyes closed and snoring. Okay, if you say so.
Yo, bye.
Why did us always say that?
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Snoring. I hear it.
That's my grandmother move, though.
My grandmother too.
That's my grandmother all day, every day. My grandmother be watching TBN. I don't know if you know about TBN.
And the Christian channel.
Yeah, Trinity Broadcasting Network.
That
Let me
was
tell
fun,
you, on the chair, ladies. And then when I go turn off the TV, I was watching it. I was Grandma with your eyes closed.
Like,
Yeah, man, I was
eyes.
listening.
Resting my eyes.
Resting my eyes.
Yeah, that was the line. That was the line.
Yeah,
While
resting my
sleeping,
eyes.
but okay.
Yo, y'all never
She'd be
cook
like,
something
I
for
was
like your
listening.
mother or your mother or father just to before you ask for something?
Man, I never went that far.
I was always culinary inclined.
Because I usually get no, right? So I have to go leaps and bounds beyond just to get a yes. Sir.
Cooking on St. Martin, that was not a thing. Me cooking on St. Martin? Nah, that was not happening.
Yeah, that I do it a few times and it was
That's
definitely
where you
To
fail.
be honest.
You need to cook, bring some ice cream, soften up. Yo, I brought you some pecan ice cream.
Yeah, but you see, my
You
thing
know-
with those things was always, I have no money. I am broke. So I gotta ask you for $10 to go buy ice cream to
Right,
bring you. Like,
right.
that shit never made sense to me.
My problem
It's
was
true.
Hell,
It's
I
the
don't have a
gospel
job.
truth.
Where
It's
am
the
I getting money
gospel
from? The
truth.
only place I'm
It's
getting
the
money is my
gospel
mother or
truth.
my grandmother, like a family member or something.
my problem was not getting the money, right?
Drawing there for her. Say this is for you.
I'm trying.
My
You've
problem-
never seen my art skills. Trying. She probably could get more vexed.
Hey.
Like,
She
what
get
is
a
this
bad
trash?
man stick figure though.
What is this
She
trash?
get a bad man stick
By the
figure.
way, we answered the question we were supposed to answer.
That's why I was going to bring it back. I was going
Shout
to
out
bring
to Beans for reminding me.
Bye.
Shout out to the people in the comments. They paying more attention to our
But this is
conversation than
what
us.
I think we
What?
should do this more often.
The live stream vibe?
Otherwise,
Yeah,
we
man.
ain't staying on topic.
Thought.
But I'm trying to remember the question I had that I wanted to follow up
We
with.
wasn't talking
It's
about
basically about
relationship.
relationship
Oh, yeah.
values, and do you feel like there exist and all of these things.
But again, like I was saying,
But-
to me it goes by person basis.
I wanted to
Wrap it
ask,
up.
like, do y'all feel there's any, like, how important is marriage? In the sense that in today's age where it's more of a side chick culture and people just kind of get baby mamas, and you see a lot more commonly the whole thing of just co-parenting where we're not really together. Like, do y'all feel marriage is as necessary?
Nope.
Oh no. I had this conversation with my significant other recently, like, and I told her like I really don't. For me, marriage is more of a convenience thing because if you're getting married,
Leads me to a great question.
You're looking at it more for like the taxes and stuff that you get reduced because you're married and
And
stuff
I
like
can't
that.
testify against each other.
But at the same time, like
planning on committing a
it
serious
really
crime?
depends on what the partner, so the other person in your life thinks about it. So she really loves marriage, and I would do it because she loves it. I personally don't see a difference because it's more of a marketing thing and a waste of money and
I
time.
mean,
On that
if
point that
we
you
feel
just said,
indifferent-
I want to know, like, for the guys in the room, you could give your opinion as well, but I just feel like what you said to me is the definition of how guys view marriage. We don't necessarily care, but for the chick that we happen to be with, we know that they care about it, so we would consider it for their happiness and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Am I
much on
off?
this, I'm on the same page.
And
Rashid,
What's that?
your opinion.
Sorry.
Your opinion on the topic. Do you
No, I
feel that
feel-
marriage is like unnecessary? Like for you personally, is it something that you grew up
You got
envisioning? Like you
exposed or
can't
shit
wait
like
to
that?
get
I
married?
mean, I already exposed them.
Nah,
Like,
it's never been a thing to where I've been like looking forward to marriage. My parents married and whatnot. I was still wedding and all of that. But to me, it's like when you get married, nothing should change in terms of the relationship, like the love you have for the other person,
Exactly.
the way you
Exactly.
interact with the other person. And that should be the same. And people that act like, oh, once you get married,
now it's for real.
No, yeah.
What have
like,
you
if
been
if
doing
had a
before
real-
that?
If you had a real
But
relationship,
too.
you
if
know,
you had a real relationship before that, like a serious one, then it shouldn't be a
Living
difference.
Okay,
together,
guys, I got
together
4
for
seconds
years.
before the stream ends. I'm gonna relaunch it again.
Okay, there's a limit to how long ago?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
bye.
How many
Is what
people,
is it,
how
hour?
many people are under
They were like, we got like 32 people.
What?
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 The limit is an hour?
Fuck.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
my
think so.
my profile. Like I had like 2.
You
You see,
you said you was big
Okay,
balling.
ladies and
You said
gentlemen,
you was
we're
big
back
balling.
on the live stream.
Anyways, I feel like okay, I want to like add something to that. Maybe
Yeah,
it
what's
could
the
help
female
me
perspective?
explain. I feel like what it is marriage is well.
Well, how do you
Speaking
view
from-
marriage? Like, do you see it the same way, like how we just
Personally-
express, or do you see it as more something that, due to conditioning and growing up as a female, is something that you kind of was always picturing? Like, I heard.
But that's what I'm saying. My mother never got married, so it's not really something I thought about. But
True,
I
true.
gonna be honest with you. If I was having a child with somebody, I think I would be leaning more towards marriage because it does give you some sense of security. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know how I grew up, right? And I also had friends who grew up in like a 2-parent household, and I see how their parents interact with one another and how their parents interact with them. And I feel like that's kind of what I want my child to have. You understand what I'm saying? So if I didn't have, like, if I was just like single, I ain't had no child, no chick, no child, I mean, we could be booed up in a house. I don't really care. But I feel like it's a different level of security you kind of have when you get married, and I think that's what it's really about. I would say.
What, in your opinion, provides that security? The fact that if you leave, I get half the shit, or is there something else? Because
I mean, really, yeah.
Because to
I
me,
feel like-
that's
I feel like-
literally the only thing that, in my opinion, because if
My
you,
girl said, I
joking.
mean, yeah.
if you with somebody,
No, but
would the
I
security
think
come from a ring? Like you can
No,
sell
no,
it, you
no,
can
it's
pawn
not
it,
that,
you
it's
can
not
get some
that.
money.
It's not that.
I believe the
think-
symbolism of it.
Exactly. I think it's because everybody have this certain idea of marriage. So it's like people kind of feel like, okay, if you get married, is kind of a little more serious. Is like, and the fact that somebody would even want to like go into that endeavor with you, you understand what I'm saying? It like give you some sense of security to know that this person
We in it to
taking me
win it.
serious. Yeah, we in it to win it, and we're going as far as getting married. And I feel like just that alone, not necessarily having the papers or stuff like that, but the symbolism behind it is what make you feel a little more secure, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like that could potentially be it.
Yeah,
but like
the symbolism thing to me is just like is made
It's the
up.
same. Yeah,
Like,
but that's the thing.
You
That's-
take you take what you get out of
Yeah,
it.
because like
You put what you
I
get.
had this conversation again with the missus, and I was like, if you going to wait until like you get married to then feel
serious.
like that
Get
the
serious.
relationship is serious,
Yeah.
then what
Don't
have you
date
been
me.
doing prior to the relationship? Like because getting married and being in a relationship, in my opinion, is exactly the same thing. You're not really, the only thing you're adding into it is the benefits
stuff.
of being married. Like in terms of the taxes that you have to pay and all of this stuff like that.
Slightly different question to the room. What is more of a commitment? Marriage or having a child with somebody?
Having a child.
Having a
Thank you
child
very
for
much.
Having a
I just
child.
wanted to know if I was the only person that was
Nah,
crazy.
definitely. Yo, that's
No,
I'm like-
definitely. But that's why I say I feel like that to me, it go more so hand in hand with like having a child with somebody. Then I understand why you'd want to get married. You understand?
Yo, marriage.
Kind of understand
But
that.
to me,
'Cause
that's the
you're
exact
already-
opposite
you're
of what I'm
set.
saying, though. Like,
But
if we have the
Bye.
child, why are we getting married? And no matter what, I'm connected to you for the rest of my life because there's
Yeah,
this
we
child.
had a child.
At
I
least
gotta
if
pay
I-
child support.
If I have any
Yes,
intention
sir.
of actually being a father, I am connected to you for the rest of my life. Because unless I'm gonna be a deadbeat and just be like, cool, I get you pregnant, you have the child, and I'm somewhere different.
To be fair, there's people that
There's people that do that, of
but,
course.
But I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone long enough and you get a child with that person, and that person then does not want to live with you, then you made some poor life decisions. Because then you did not really get to know this person good enough to know how this person really is.
But that's not necessarily true now. Because the sad thing
know.
about it that people change now. And
I
your
understand
feelings
that
It's
people
not only
change,
it's
but-
not only that, but people don't know how they're gonna react until they're in a particular situation. So you could think you this way or whatever, and then you end up in that
Very true.
situation, and then you like, bye, fuck.
I mean, for someone, like, if you get a kid with someone and then that person dips,
But you have no control over that.
I
That's the whole
understand
thing.
that, but then you really didn't know the person well good enough.
I disagree.
You know how many
By-
people does dip?
That
But-
means you did not know the person good
Yeah,
You
enough.
just think
but
all these
If
people
a person
they didn't know
dips, like legit, if someone like leaves their priorities and stuff like that and dips completely like that, that means the person was hiding his true self from you. He was not being honest complete. Like, I'm not saying
Or
that
I
you
was
were wrong.
honest
I'm just
Some
saying the
people
person
don't know
was
what they
honest
want.
until now I'm
Yeah.
presented with a different situation and now it's a reality and I'm realizing, fuck, I was not prepared for this or it's
People-
not the way I imagined it going or all of those type of
Exactly.
things and I'm like, well, this is not, I thought I wanted this and that was a genuine thought at one point, but no, it's also a genuine thought that this is not what I want.
Yeah,
To me, that is also a possibility
But
too.
yeah, I understand that. But you running from the situation, that means that this person has been doing that always.
No,
I disagree.
People,
Nah,
people
I
know,
Once a
no,
person, because you have people
always know
that
what
feel
they
pressure,
want.
I understand that. But you have people that feel pressure and act a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and you have people that feel pressure and act another way. It doesn't matter
Or you have
what the
people that feel pressure and
situation.
presented with a challenge like, fuck, ain't none, no, I ain't never feel no pressure
You
like
never
this.
feel yeah.
But
Because I've been existing forever and I don't have a child, so I have
Okay.
no idea what the pressures of having a child is like until I have a child. And now it's like, oh, I'm seeing what the reality is now, and this is not what I signed up, or this is not what I thought
so
it was
I'm
going
going
to
to
be.
run.
Yeah.
For those people that do, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
I still feel like people still don't really take the time to get to know someone.
I do
before you have a
agree
kid.
that is something that happens a lot. That is true. There's a lot of people that when they see some of the problems that they have in a relationship, is like, did you ever talk to this person? Like, I just have that feeling a lot when I hear certain situations
Like-
people is end up in.
like
So I get what you're saying,
fundamental issues.
but I don't feel that necessarily automatically proves that like, okay, if I dip out because of a child,
No, I'm not
all
saying.
of that,
I'm
like,
not saying that.
he's
But
always running. This is something that is like you just don't know sometimes. To me,
yeah, but you gotta find out. You gotta have.
But-
you gotta instill this conversation in that
But
relationship.
it's difficult, but I find that it's difficult something because you can't control somebody else. You can't control nobody else's actions. And the same way, somebody could just be feeling fuck up one day, be like, yo, or find somebody else they feel like is better than you, or not doing something that you used to do, or not doing something you say you was going to do, or something like that. It could be a plethora of different reasons. Somebody could just be like, hey, I ain't fucking with you no more.
Even if it's a
Yep.
temporary feeling.
That too, and when you look at something, you regret. But that's a whole different something. But like, you can't control nobody else's actions. So at the same time, while you're in a relationship, you have to understand that as well. Like that fuck can end at any time.
yep.
That's why I don't. For me personally, marriage ain't an important something. For me, the most important thing is who you have that child with, because that's the most. That is a life something.
Yeah.
God forbid the child have to dead. You still have that. You still have that connection with that person. Are you gonna still have that memory, or you share? That's a serious something. Marriage, I could marry you next week and divorce your cunt the next month as well. So what kind of serious symbolism or
That's what, like,
There was a
shit is
chick
that.
in my
That's the
class
main
that
thing.
was married with a friend just to get tax relief.
shit like that? So it's like if I decide to have a child with you, then that's something else. Well, I mean, sometimes you don't decide, but
Before it was also linked to like religion too. So.
all of that.
On a
Alright.
similar somewhat note,
Oh, God.
yeah, y'all saw that there was the first gay marriage in Statia.
No,
Yeah.
The first publicly gay
Yeah, yeah,
marriage.
yeah. I
Two
was
white
hearing-
dudes
I was
got
hearing-
married in Statia, and this was like news and whatnot. And I was looking through the comments and seeing the hate, and it was interesting looking at the reaction.
I hear
Like,
people talk. The LGBTQ community is not gonna have a footing in the Caribbean culture
Bye.
right now.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
tough.
It's going to take a while
Yeah.
because Caribbean
Because-
people we real ignorant as a group, as a total entity. We ain't there yet.
I wouldn't just say ignorant. I would also say, look, this whole conversation in the Caribbean happened way later
Than anywhere else.
than anywhere else. Yeah? 'Cause
True.
you had all of these religious folks came to the Caribbean and instilled this way of thinking. So and you have a lot of vergrijzing. What is this in English again?
Brain drain. It's not exactly the same, but it's the older the fact
older
that
folks
population
tend to
getting
live
older
on tend
and
to stay live
there.
on the island, and
All
the
the young
younger
people
folks
with
go
more-
out to go study, and so, a
Yeah,
lot of them
and-
don't come back.
And they stay places that's more
So,
liberal, so the
This
view
is
kind of
it's
skewed.
very hard to then change the mentality of on the island, especially with the large majority of the island still thinking a certain type of way.
That
So
makes
I
sense.
just I know in Aruba it's gonna take a while before
What?
somebody.
Out of
It gonna
a
take-
lot of Aruba is very liberal compared to, like, for example, St. Martin.
I understand, but we still not there yet.
We still not there, but we a lot
We 50-50, no. That's still
by
What makes you say that about
I disagree.
liberalism? Because to me, I feel the exact opposite in certain ways when you encounter Aruba, Curacao people. Not saying y'all two in particular, but St. Martin, in my opinion, is way more liberal than the general culture. Of course, there's always exception. Everybody as an individual is different.
you find so well.
When it, to me, that's why I asked, what in your maybe
I
not
talking-
in that
I
specific
talking about-
area,
I
maybe not
talking
in
about-
that specific area.
Oh no, because
But
by the time
in general culture of the island, I feel like in a lot of ways, like to me, there's more of a conservative thing that I just get from Aruba. And these people, when you look at their attitudes to carnival and dance in a certain way and all of these type of things, is like we more reserved, we gonna wear more clothes and different things, and judge the Simatiners who getting on all wassy and thing during a carnival. And again, it's not all Arubans, it's not all Curacao, but the general vibe of the island is like Arubans and Curaçaoians don't party the way Samoan people is party. That's just one example. I know I'm
That's
talking
true.
about a party, and that's why I asked you.
That's just true.
What is your
I talking
Val-
about specifically the LGBT community.
Yeah, I know Samoan people
the
definitely ain't with that.
That's what that's what I'm talking about. But that's what we was talking about.
Yeah,
that's
that's-
exactly what
and
my,
that's-
what we're saying.
one aspect of the liberal conservative
Yeah,
dichotomy
but-
thing.
I was
But I was
comparing
talking
it
about
more with
specifically
Europe
that.
in general, so I was taking Aruba and comparing it
yeah,
to
they're a lot
Europe.
more Europeanized
So-
in those type of ways, in my opinion.
No, but I mean in the sense that we ain't Europe level yet.
Of
We
course,
ain't,
nobody,
yeah, yeah,
nobody in Holland level,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
yeah, but that's what I was when I was comparing Aruba. I was
Nobody
comparing
needs
Aruba to
to
the
be.
Netherlands.
There's not gonna be a gay parade on
Nobody
going in
No,
front of the
needs
street.
no.
I don't think
But-
I don't
but
need any
Aruba-
rainbow colored zebra pads on St. Martin. If you ask me personally, there's no need for a rainbow colored crosswalk.
I mean,
And that's
I
what
mean,
Holland on. Like,
to
so
me-
I don't
But
think that's necessary.
in
my
high
opinion.
school, like
to me,
in
that ain't
hi-
bothering nobody.
in
They
high
want to
school,
do it. They want to do the fucking thing.
Like, what was wrong with white and black? I'm just like, I get that it doesn't hurt nobody. No, but why? So I'm walking on gay people. Is that the message?
Oh my god.
Is that the message you're trying to send with me walking on a rainbow pad? Like, why?
I don't think that was a bedoeling, but
Or
King
so
on
their
chain.
flag, the thing that represents them. Imagine if it was a U.S. flag and you walking on the U.S. flag. What the interpretation? Like, I don't see how that is a positive thing. Even if it's supposed to be trying to empower, so we're walking on this thing that is supposed to be like the representation of the homosexual movement, the LGBTQ movement.
I think
Or my
we're,
view skewed, I guess.
I think we're straying a little bit off of the
yeah.
actual topic.
What else is new on the link up?
that is
You
not
got
an
you got
excuse.
give the people what they want.
Yeah.
But apparently, gay marriage is legalized on the French side of the island.
There's been controversy on St. Martin and
Shout
stuff
out to
where
Nikki.
some people had get married and they like The same thing that was happening with the Station 1 or all the people in the comments spewing the hate. The same shit happened on Saman when the first French couple, the first people got married on the French side.
It might be a little thing
There
to
was
say,
more
but
protests and shit like that, according to me. Like legit actual people coming out to their house and going to protest this, not like...
From what I had here, I didn't get to see the comments personally, but some of the covers, it was a little messed up, but it was kind of funny. It was a little bit entertaining. I could imagine how lit those fucking comment sections was. But let me get the people one more question. One more topic.
Well, there was one that kind of tied into something we mentioned earlier talking about. There was a question that we asked, do y'all see a future for yourselves back on Aruba/Manhattan? This is something that we've touched on many times with different guests.
In my case, no.
Nope.
But because what I'm studying and
media related stuff,
what I'm doing, like I know I could make I could make a living on the island for sure with doing media stuff, but like the companies ain't giving money out like that for marketing first of all, so I would be very bored because they don't really want to change their marketing up that much because why would you need to change it up on an island where people already know where you need to look and how they need to find you? Like you're not really trying to capitalize on the market because the market is pretty much already capitalized upon.
I feel it.
So I would just stay here and I would just have more to do and it would be more fun. I would love to do like projects on the island, so I would come do projects on the island and represent the island here in the Netherlands, but for me to go live back on the island, maybe when I'm retired, yes.
Kana, you see me, you know. Kalissa, you say no.
But
Ain't
the
no
thing
future
is,
there.
I've had this discussion with like my family members too, and like I know my cousins from St. Martin, they'd like to go back to St. Martin, but I was saying like, look, the way I view it, where Aruba is concerned, I already know that Aruba is not going to pay me what I'm worth. You understand? So like, why would I go back to an island that's not going to pay me what I worth when I could be up here, for example, making like double what I would be making down there, and then also like career opportunity, job opportunities in Aruba is like,
to me, like
they're far and few between.
The many times we've discussed this topic, the answer basically comes down to what is your motivation, what is your drive, in a sense. Do you care about the money or do you care about your actual island and building it up and contributing? Because one of the things we talk about all the time, we complain about how backwards the islands is and this and that, how we want change, we want to see progression, but who the fuck can do it if all, like you say, the brain drain or the vergrijzing that happening where all is only a bunch of retired people or all the elderly people who not in the prime of their working careers type of thing. Is only there on the island. All the people who young and coming with new ideas and first takes on things is like everybody just so money focused and nobody actually wants to go back and do something on the island. Yes, you're gonna have to take the pay cut. That's something we all know. You're not gonna get paid the same. So if you want to go back to St. Martin, that is taking the pay cut in mind because Aruba or wherever, because you know that family or building up the island or something like that is more of a priority to you than the money. To me, that's where it basically comes down to. Do you want money or do you want to build an island and stuff like that?
And it also depends on what you're studying.
Yeah,
like if you're studying like nuclear science and stuff like that, you can go back to that.
You can't like...
Yeah, you can. Or
I mean,
you will just be the
can.
person who is going to start that. Are you willing to be the person to start the initiative, to start a nuclear program or something like that?
If
Are
you have
you
the
willing to take up
capital-
that or are you just looking for a job?
I mean, yeah,
If you
the
just want a
government
job,
would-
then yeah,
if-
of course you're going to stay in Holland.
Yeah, if the government on the island, like I wouldn't advise it at all, but if the government on the island is willing to fund a nuclear project on the island, then I would see someone, but it would like certain things like I
To
could
me,
understand
you'll just end up like Kana brother. It's like, yeah, it wasn't the best situation, but I mean, the Nature Foundation was underfunded forever, but because he cared about nature and all these things, the man did the job. He was the person who took extra time out of his own things that I'm sure, much like teachers always talk about how there's no money for this and that, so teachers got to take money out of their own pocket because they care about teaching the students to get pencils or staple, whatever it might be that they need in their classroom. That's what happens because you know how the system works. It's not good. It doesn't work optimally. If you want to see change, you're gonna have to do extra.
I
That's
understand that, but it's a very big step for a student to just finished They study
too.
I ain't
to
say
then
right
go
away.
back to the island and not having any security or
For
anything
that,
like
it
that.
depends.
Like,
Like I just said, if you're
But
going
it-
back to the island, you know you're going back there,
Yeah.
acknowledging the pay cut and all of these things.
Yeah,
so
you
if
know
you're
you have
going
to
back
suck
right
salt for a
away,
minute. Yeah.
exactly.
But
Why
there's
would
still
you
a
go back
difference.
right
There's
away
still a
if you
difference
don't
with
have
the
no
whole,
plan?
theory that I brought up. If you studied a certain thing,
It's
But now-
like,
now-
it
and
got
then
different
being the
things
person
that
that
you're
built
not
it
going
up,
to be able
like-
to do.
But that's the
in-
thing. But you see, the unfortunate thing about the island, and that we know, but none of us highlighted yet, is the fact that it's also a place because it's small. All both islands that we're here talking about is small. A lot of it is who you know.
oh yeah,
So depending, regardless
Friend
of
politics.
what you study, your network is your most important thing when it comes to jobs and what kind of jobs you have access to down there. Because let's be real about it. If you have somebody that working, or one of your cousins or your aunt or something working in government, it's most probably, and then you have a good relationship with them, most probably they're gonna try to get you in a position somewhere there if you're capable, or if your degree is somewhat in that realm of thing, or if you don't need so much training. That's how it is work down there.
yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah.
apart from that, unless you go in there with your own expertise to create your own wave and your own market and your own shit, it makes no sense, I find. And again, it depends on your personal network whether that is plausible or not. Other than that, what you come here up and study for and what you think is do is it don't mean shit down there.
Yeah,
That's true.
if you're looking for a job from those people, that's what I say. If you gotta have the mindset that you gonna start some shit.
Yep.
That you going to, if nobody giving me a job, you gonna start some shit. Like you gonna
Yep.
do it on your own. You need that. If you don't have that mindset, if you just
Oh, yeah.
about the money, if you just want the easy life in a sense that you want, like there's always a path less traveled, and the path less traveled is going back to man doing shit like what your brother was doing. Like, eventually he switched jobs and he doing something else because
Where he's fucking
I
more
don't-
appreciated.
I don't blame the man. I
Shit.
understand why you would do something like that, but I admire the man at the same
But-
time for
but
doing it
I
in the
believe-
first place, because how the fuck shit gonna change? Or
I
we gonna just
do
sit here
believe-
complaining forever?
I was just gonna say I do believe, even though I'm glad that he's in a better situation now. I do also believe he did lay a foundation for Melissa, who is now, I don't even want to say her last name because I don't know if I'm saying the right one. But Melissa is now in charge of the Nature Foundation, and she was trained by Tatsuo, and according to Tatsuo, she was doing a very good job.
That person from the PFP or this a different Melissa?
Different Melissa.
Okay.
So Melissa or Melanie, now I don't know. I'm sorry. Whoever running the Nature Foundation right now was
Shout out to
trained
you.
by
Melissa or Melanie?
I gonna laugh if it's not even with an M. No,
Nah, it's something with an M.
name is
I'm
Jennifer.
sure. of that.
Shout out
I'm
to
sure of
Melissa,
that.
Melanie,
It starts with an M with an M in the middle of the
Melody.
name.
And either way,
All of them.
It might be
shout out to
Amanda.
Melissa and Melanie, and shout out to the
Let's
Nature
choose
Foundation
Jennifer.
in general. But yeah, it's supposedly going to be in good hands without Tatsu being there. So
Alrighty then. I feel like we kind of covered that. Cause like I said, that's something we talked about in this podcast
Yes.
many times.
Yeah.
So to me, you can try hit one more kind of camera there, not kind of telling us that they don't want us to.
Yo, the
be
main
great.
camera dead, but the
We still
the
got
live stream
streams and
camera.
thing, you know.
We still here. We still
on.
here.
Charlamagne, we live.
So one of the other questions was talking about music stuff that dropped, and I'm like, that's a long conversation that forever. Like, once you get on music, it's something that could go in a million different tangents. So I don't know if I really want to touch on music. The main things that dropped that was suggested for us to talk about was
Her name
Fabulous.
is Melanie.
Oh yeah, I
Mayer.
just see it.
Who said that? Who?
Amazing double.
Hey, shout out,
Oh, yeah.
shout out, amazing.
That's the
Who's that?
wifey.
Hey,
Double L.
Ah,
But yeah.
Shout
anyway, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something.
see, I was close though. I just want to point that out. I said the right one. I just didn't know which one it was.
Proud of you.
Oh yeah, and I was talking about music and the things that dropped. Basically, there was a Hush project that dropped. You know, bigging up the local artists, the people.
Oh, I didn't
Dollar
see that
G
it dropped.
was
but-
on that project
it
promoting it a
dropped?
lot and thing. Yeah, the H2P Legacy, I think is the name of the mixtape. For those not familiar, H2P is Hush Hush Productions, like H2P Hush Hush, kind of like, you know, the chemical formulas H2, like that kind of vibe. And yeah, they drop a project. I ain't listened to it yet, so that's why I ain't really want to do much of a review on nothing like that.
Okay.
Fabulous drop a project, Game drop a project. I actually
I see
listened to the
Game Drop
Game
a project.
Yeah, the artwork for it is a mess, and Game busy name dropping everybody. Like the amount of name dropping Game this dude is disappointing me, because he's too good of a rapper to be clout chasing in that way. Like a bunch of lines, he got lines in some, but he gonna tongue kiss LMA in the mouth and some shit about Nicki.
On the album?
Like yes. And it's like, game, you don't need to do this shit. Like, you can rap more than well enough than just mentioning who's the relevant people to try to get people to, because you said them, they're going to like...
Each their own. But, okay, so,
and then,
seeing that as the that important.
Aside from the music, what else is left? What else do we got? Oh, how much of an influence you think winter has on most island people in NL? I feel like that's appropriate given the way that
when we went to that a little earlier.
I know.
Why?
We still got time, man. Okay, let's start this way. How much of y'all actually like the weather in this country?
I love the winter. I love being in my room cooped up. That's when I'm feeling the most creative. No, honestly, that's when I feel the most creative.
Oh, okay.
Because when I have nothing to do in my room, like when I'm forced to like stay the majority of the time in my room, that's when I'm more creative. Because then that's when I'm like, okay, Woods, let's start doing this, let's start doing that. When it's the summertime, I don't want to be working. I just want to be out sweating. Understand? So when it's winter time, I actually do work. I love to read then because I'm inside. I'm like, I try to stay inside as long as possible. So I love the winter for that.
I see your logic. I disagree with it completely.
I'm just talking about me. I'm talking about me.
Man's not hot.
Now I understand. Like I see the logic. I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, but like, nah.
Okay.
I think it's also because like in my house, like in Aruba, in my house, like everything air conditioned, and like when it comes like at night, my room is like sub temperature. Like it's almost
no. Everybody in Aruba heat serious.
Oh, okay. So all of y'all just got GB bills on deck like that. Like,
I mean, you put a converter.
I have a converter too. You good?
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You'll say something some of us should invest back home.
I don't know nothing about why y'all talking
I know,
about
but I
like a cheat code air code because I know my mother been complaining. I have air codes in my house on St. Martin, and I have to ask permission to use the air code. Be like, let my mother know tonight I will put on the air code in the room because bills.
That's true.
But if you have a regular air code like without the converter,
it's been on before 8 o'clock.
And all of that. And then it's only like, okay, so you put it on the eco mode and then you turn it once the room chilled, you turn it off and then you put on the fan. Like that is the way my air codes, and there was one in my room, one in my mother's room, and nowhere else in the room. Just in the bedrooms was where the air codes was.
Like I don't know, like if it's different with a regular air conditioning and the converter ones or inverter. I can't remember if it's a converter or inverter. But like those can stay like the air conditioning in my room don't like legit in my house except for the one in the living room. The air conditioning it's inverter. The one in my house don't turn off at all. No. It actually costs more electricity to turn it off and
turn it back on.
Because it is living a good life over there.
No, because it is pull more when you're turning it on and turning it off.
It's working more.
It doesn't work on the same thing. Like when you first turn on the car, and like that's when it pulls the most gas versus when the car going and it just driving. It won't use as much gas. I get that concept, but I still find it's kind of hard to believe that air could just running all the time.
Listen.
I get where you're coming from, and I'm just saying. I know my mother isn't an idiot, and I don't think she would intentionally be like, "Cool, let me buy the trash air cool if I could get something that works like this."
Technology is not like it's not that old. So when was the last time?
I mean, you're not the same age, nigga.
Yeah, but
if you on Aruba, having this air cool in your room.
But I mean, this is like something like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's when we had get
that we switched over to like we were paying high bills in the beginning.
Oh, okay. You were talking like this was a normal something.
No,
but he was also living in Guayaca, so I believe that he
always had like that. The way you telling the story, this like the air cool you always had.
My parents just work really hard.
But yeah, my mother had basically the same situation.
So how does everybody else feel about the Dutch weather in this country?
Oh yeah,
like it.
I love it.
I don't like the cold.
I like dressing up too. So it's like
in regards to how the winter time does affect Caribbean people, especially for like new students that are coming up when it's their first time up here. Like it's your first time, and like 3 months after you just reach, winter time hit. And
it's
that's like rough. It's depressing because it's getting dark early. It's like all gloomy.
I remember when I first came here.
That's one thing.
Winter time is not the time you want to be in.
I ain't gonna lie. The worst, like the weather don't bother me. The rain is a little annoying here and there. The cold bother me. I don't like the cold as a Caribbean person. Straight out. But The worst one for me is being in class and watching the sunset. That one I catch me on. My first year, I watched that, I was like, boy, what I doing here still? This is not supposed. This is not how it's supposed to be. The sun is going down. Like I'm watching it go down.
That is one thing, right? If you having a bad day,
Exactly.
like if you're having a bad day and you don't see sun that day, it'll kind of fuck you up more. It does make it worse. I ain't gonna lie. I don't mind the weather up here, man. I like a cool breeze.
Is this a sheltered only child thing that I like it being dark? Like
no, the man say I don't mind the weather. I don't mind the weather. It's just the cold. Like the rain and the dark.
That's not the problem. Like only rainy days that'll be a little. That'll be like bye. But even that don't really mess with me. It's just like if I having a bad day, like I had a rough day at work and I come home and it's dark, and when I leave it was dark and it was dark all day, I just be like, I don't be in a mood. I don't be in a good fucking mood. And then people are trying to test me too. Like leave one of those motherfuckers from that train station try and rob me. They're gonna have to kill me because I'm not gonna be in a fucking mood. I tell you right now. I tell you right now.
I guess,
I be like, yeah?
I guess let me give a little context for people who don't know. There's been some like reports of people being like robbed and phones being stolen and shit like that at the station. And
They have
then,
me vexed.
and honestly, one time I was coming home from work, I was like, yeah, at least somebody try to fuck with me too, man. Just
Right?
today. I ain't gonna lie.
That is be me every fucking day coming home
I
quarter past,
understand.
quarter past. I'd be like, if somebody need to try me.
But I remember, like, when I first came to this
Highly
country,
fucking
like, the
upset.
one thing that threw me off was the fact that outside is colder than inside. Like, on St. Martin is one of those things where you don't expect to be in a building like an airport. And the outside is colder because on St. Martin there's airco in buildings inside. Outside is hot. You walking outside, you feeling heat, and you going in the building, that's your refuge. But then it was like, hey, come on, Schiphol. And Schiphol is warm, and then they step outside, and I'm like, why is outside colder than inside? Like, that shit confused me for a good bit. Like, every time, like, the first couple of days that I was here, literally every time I stepped outside, it was like, wait, this shit is the reverse of how it's supposed to be.
because if you think about it, the building is still your refuge.
that's true.
That is true.
Yeah, but it is. I get what you're saying, but it's just the complete opposite of how it's supposed to be in my mind of what I'm used to. So it took a little while to adjust to that, but just in general, like, winter's a terrible time. I don't like the rain. I don't like the snow. Snow is cool to look at for the first year when I came
cool
up
from
inside.
the inside.
Exactly.
Snow is fun and pretty and all that
Pretty.
stuff if I don't have to leave.
Like
I don't walk on that shit.
You've been in New York, right? In New York, right?
Yeah.
Look, snow is cool when it's dry snow, dog.
Wet snow.
We have to talk about the difference with dry snow
It gonna be there
and
for
the
a day.
snow
It
in
gonna
the
be there for a
Netherlands,
day.
dog. The snow in the
It
Netherlands it
gonna be
snows
dry.
and rains
It
at the
gonna be
same
dry.
time, dog.
That's something.
That's
It
that
gonna be
Kevin
dry.
Hart shit we talk about, that slushy
It gonna
shit.
be dry.
Slushies, yo. That shit.
The snow does be dry for a day, and then they're gonna turn into that regardless. Because even when there's moments in Holland when I've been here when it's snowing, like proper snowing earlier, it's been a long time
Yeah,
since it's
they don't
experienced
happen no
that.
more.
But yeah, like when it proper snow and it hit minus 16 and 17 degrees and all them kind of nonsense temperatures, I was like, what the fuck is this? But anyway, the snow is dry. And then within the second or the third day, people walking on it, and now it just turned into that melty ice shit. No matter what shoes you wear, you could wear Timbs, you could wear winter shoes, you can fucking slip.
Yeah, but look, that's a given with
Black
I
ice,
ain't
right?
bust ass yet.
You can slip. You may not fall all the way, but you can slip. You can lose your traction.
No, I never
I feel like
slipped.
at some point I might have, but
I ain't bust my ass yet, and
Other than in the shower,
that's a real
but-
shocker. Cause
I mean, I broke my shoulder.
yeah, but you doing dumb shit. That's
I mean, like I never bust ass because I almost bust my ass this morning in the shower though. I had a rough day this
like what
morning.
we was doing in
Okay,
the
wait.
shower.
Was there snow involved?
Yo, no, I just first of all, let me tell you something. I ain't been in a good mood. And like,
I ain't been in a good one.
shut the fuck up.
Get some water.
I ain't been in a good mood, and then this morning I had some technical difficulties in the shower. First, my loofah gets stuck on my piercing. When I tell you, I scream. I take me 10 minutes to get it out. I finally get it out.
Today is the first day I realized you had piercing. Like the piercing that I assume you're talking about. Like I never noticed them before. Like today, I've never noticed them. Is that an awkward moment? Was I not supposed to say that?
No, it's not that.
It's how you do it.
For the views.
Whoa.
The camera dead, sadly.
Hey, but this is
That's
on you.
rough.
This camera's like.
Woods get all up in them pores.
Anyways, it gets stuck in my oh god. Then I scream. Then I was there for like a straight 10 minutes trying to get it out because my dumb listen. And then when I get it out, I slip. I slip for. I was like, I slip, but hold on, I fall all the way.
But I feel worried. I feel bad for you when you get old. That's when you normally expect people to slip in the bathroom.
Listen,
yeah.
I don't even know how I
in the bathroom
slip.
now. Like,
Get your chair, sit on inside.
Best
shit on me rough once you hit 60.
It's gonna be really rough. At least you know what I got working for me. Like I close to the ground,
Yeah,
so
so
I
it
ain't
ain't
got
be a
that.
hard fall.
Yeah, you understand. I ain't got that much way
That's a
to
very
go.
good point.
So we gonna be
You gotta be a
alright.
long way down for real sometimes.
Like you know what's fucked up about your height? Like you got time to like catch yourself and all, So then you just be like,
not even. The worst thing about
No?
it, the worst thing about it, I just tall enough to have to be able to think like, oh fuck, before I actually hit. I actually have time for it to process or what's going to happen. This gonna hurt. And as soon as that's all come pop, we
no,
make
but
contact.
are you never slip in a shower for real?
No.
Yo, I
Not
gonna
that I
tell
know
you
of.
some
Not that I can
some fuck
remember.
up shit, right? When you slip in a shower, you just try to hold on to everything.
And everything
Cause but
And then you slip on what you hold.
but y'all don't understand. It's because like the shower is the worst fucking place to fall, right? And let me tell you something. Part of you, and this is gonna sound real crazy, right? But I know y'all know ain't got much to grab onto. It got a point that you gonna try and hold on to the water, and I tell it how you did.
wow.
Because it's like you gonna just try and hold on to
Grabbing water
anything. Yes, you going down. You really thinking about it. You
Not
just
the
trying
shower
to grab.
curtain.
You
Like,
just- I don't have shower curtains.
oh, okay.
But like, what the hell?
You gonna try and grab onto
No,
anything.
wait.
You just
It's
reach
glass.
in.
It's glass.
You just reach
right?
in. It's glass.
It's glass and marble.
No, wait.
But even in Aruba,
Wait. Okay.
I don't have. We didn't. No. I don't have.
What we
curtains.
doing in the shower that we slipping? What force?
No.
What force going down in the
Fuck
shower
that. Fuck that.
Like your leg
Grabbing
up on the wall or
water.
something?
You never slip in a shower, so
No, that's why Rasheed trying to understand. And I feel that's a very valid question.
because no, you literally
Are you
gonna
dancing
try,
while listening to music in the shower?
No, like to be honest with you, I don't know if it has be like my hair product or my shampoo or whatever
Ooh,
that has made
that's
the ground really slippery or something.
You sound like you had
Nah,
a
but
bad experience with that too.
Showers. Me stepping into showers and my foot sliding on it.
Because, yeah,
Like, nah,
after
fam.
I do a hair
Drop some
mask,
soap here.
Hey, that floor, listen, I gone. Every time after I put in a hair mask, look at me. Gone.
Nah, that
Just
makes
gone.
sense.
How you go?
That makes sense.
You want to see that again with it?
No, I get him kicked. Calissa slipping, I get him kicked. I don't understand how I get this now.
I don't be slipping though.
Boy, collateral damage.
This is
I
what?
think I almost slipped this morning in the shower because my cousin was by me and I don't know what she do yesterday. But the shower floor was slippery like fuck.
You gotta rinse that floor, man.
Air conditioning.
But nah, I really surprised I ain't slipped. My camera ain't catch me yet
All the
because.
people you laugh at in life.
But you what? Yo, me and my brother we specifically go by Belma Arena. You see what they do, like park the bikes and thing. They got a little stoop. You can we used to sit on right there and just
And
laugh at
watch.
people. Old people, young people, fat people, skinny people, black, white.
Everybody
black
could get
people.
it.
Everybody
No
get laughed at. A lot of
discrimination.
people was upset with us that day,
when it snows, we all gonna come by my room when it snows. We'll do a
Alright.
special
Oh,
podcast because they have the hill now.
You have
where people have to park,
yeah.
right? And that hill, they ain't think about winter time when they made that fuck. So
This
just
is
come
very
across.
true. This is very true. But like from my room, you can see it too. Yeah, though.
What you
I
want
think
to
we
do in your
talking
room?
about no. We could go do it in your room. We could do it in your room.
Pause.
Yeah. Best pause I want
You
to
got to
read.
pause for real before your girlfriend come for you.
Pause.
Is you the one that's saying it?
But you
Yeah, you.
You the one that's
I
saying
agree
it.
with him. He invited us in his room.
And then he was like, but my room.
So,
I
ladies
think-
and gentlemen, boys and girls,
I
children
think
of all ages.
we established the fact that we Caribbean people we don't really like up here was ain't normal, but everybody knew that already. So
But
Ain't
I
no
said that
topics
for
left.
too.
Nah.
Unless we want to, pull one from like our own self. These
Nah,
are all the
I-
suggested topics that we had.
I think
Nah,
I think
man.
we've had
She been
several
long.
indications that we should
Cause we
probably
had
start
a-
wrapping up.
An hour and 38 minutes, you
Yeah,
know, so...
I think we're good. So we would like to
been
thank
kinda
everybody
long.
on the live stream.
Yes.
Yeah, all the people that are busy tuning in live, that still there. How much people
Much
on live?
thanks.
Woods?
Now we at 7.
Okay, that's okay. We
Shout out
ended
to all the
anyway.
7 people
Bye.
that was enjoying
Shout out
the live
everybody that
stream.
was
Oh, you
listening
stay
in the first
strong.
place. So
Now, y'all is some troopers, man.
we appreciate it. We
You
hope
stay
all you
true
enjoyed it.
all the way to
We
the
hope all
end.
you enjoyed the
Are
interaction.
you some real
If
ones?
all you like this and how we did it,
Real ones.
just
Might
leave us
do it
know.
again.
We'll
Send a
probably do
shout
it
out to
again.
them. We gotta send a big shout out to the
Y'all
7
the
that's
real
still
ones.
watching.
The
Yeah,
6
yeah.
of y'all. That's
All of them.
Oh Lord, we
Could it be?
lost one right there.
it be?
Jesus.
So
What would the names be?
So the real ones are as followed.
I
We
feel
got Amazing Double L.
Okay.
Hey,
We got DJ
go ahead.
Bean.
Shout out.
We
Hey,
got Screw.
Bean, I hope you're ready. Yeah.
We got Keanu. We got Nikki.
Hey, shout out Kiana
Shout-
too. I see you've
shout
been
out to
helping us promote and stuff like that.
Nikki.
We really
We
appreciate
got
you.
we got Alice with a Z. Alice with a Z at the end.
Okay.
Alice
Shout out.
Audio. I don't know if
Oh,
that.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah, but
Alex.
yeah, Alex. Yeah. And we got
Like, the
Only
man tell me,
Shay.
Ellis, I think, looking at you.
I check in like,
Is that Rashid family?
We got Only Shay.
All right,
And we got Shannon Lexus.
Okay, Shannon.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know that.
before we get out, everybody got plugs.
I feel like you're reading these things weird to me, and that just got me off. But
Anyway, we got plugs, people.
I already dropped one of my plugs early in the podcast. Make sure to tune in on January the 8th for the Mistuh King LP with all the amazing songs that y'all gonna hear in the future when you get to that date. Other than that, I guess y'all, tonight, but not. I guess for the people on the live stream, maybe, but
Yeah, we can go through that a little later. Would you got anything?
I'll let you go through.
On Monday too?
Yeah.
Alright, so like we say, we try to say every week. If y'all want to go to a party on Monday, we got Curious in John Doe on the Rembrandt Plain. But we also got Reckless tonight for those on the live stream that are in Amsterdam or know people in Holland. We got a party called Reckless that's in Brazil Bar every Sunday. It's going to be a more Caribbean vibe, so it's more soca, dancehall, blah blah blah, bachata, merengue, all that kind of whole Latin vibe. It's every Sunday something. Come out, free entrance.
It's free.
Don't
be cheap.
I think free entrance. So yeah, if you have nothing else to do tomorrow or you're ready to risk it, come true.
You mean today?
Yeah, but if they have work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, true.
thinking ahead.
Yeah, you know, if you have nothing else to do, come true. You're more than welcome. And yeah.
Even if you have something to do, just risk it. Risk it.
Biscuits for the biscuit, right?
It's gonna be what the music, the vibe and the music going to be worth it, so I can guarantee that at least. So yeah, every Sunday, Reckless.
Unrated, and with all of that being said, unless somebody has another message they'd like to express to our listeners before we wrap up,
No, it's straight.
okay then,
Keep
everybody
it dry,
cool?
fellas. Keep it dry.
I don't know what that's referring to, but okay,
But a lot
I'ma
of things
just move
better when it's
past all of
moist,
that.
you know.
Yeah,
I don't like the word moist.
I like certain things, but
But yeah, but you see,
I'm
wet
just-
could be a problem.
You have to know.
Wet does actually cause damage.
You have
Moist,
to know.
yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to
Moist
Rashid.
does
giving us
cause
a
We're
job.
going to throw a
Stop
poll
it.
at the end of this.
I don't
Dry or moist? See which one wins.
no, it
Well,
has to
you
be-
can create that poll.
Yes.
But anyway, we'll see y'all people the next time we link up. I hope y'all enjoyed our 100th episode. You know, when
Yes,
they'll
yes.
try to give y'all something special. Hope y'all enjoyed it. So yeah, we'll see y'all the next time we link up
Bless.
on episode 101.
Peace.